You know, is it me, or sometimes I feel like my entire life, man, I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, thrown under the bus, you name it. I just always feel, and I still feel that way, man. One of the things I always said, even when I was growing up, and I always felt, even in a crowded room, you're the loneliest person in the room. I still feel that way, See, like I said, I use this platform to talk about not only social interests in current topics and stuff. I also talk about my personal struggles as well. This is where my outlet, where I could pretty much say what's on my mind and not be judged for it. At least not be judged by people who think they understand me. Let's put it like this. But in any case, let me talk about it. Let me tell you what's on my mind. Let me tell you what I'm still striving to do. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. You know me. I'm the kind of person, I question everything. I question everything from the air that we breathe, or what are the real motives of white supremacy anymore, to, can I trust people anymore? And as black men, throughout from the cradle to the grave, we've always been put under suspicion on everything we do, every move we make, man. Seriously, whether you're going to a high value item store, or whether you're going to a grocery shop, or whether you driving into a little country town or something like that, we're always under suspicion. We're always under the microscope, no matter what we do, man. A few weeks ago, I think there was some young boys. I guess they were waiting to be picked up to work on some jobs at I don't know. Remember if it was like a convenient market somewhere. And the cops actually kind of assumed that they were loitering. And then one cop dropped the N-word on them for some reason. I don't know what that was about, but we're always under suspicion on everything. Look at the thing with Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was a 17-year-old kid shot to death walking while black. Okay? And he was under suspicion at an apartment complex because of something they said some other people were doing. And that fucking punk ass Zimmerman shot him to death for nothing. He really did. And he got away with it. Talking about they always get away. No, y'all always get away with bullshit all the fucking time. And with impunity on top of that. But, even in relationships sometimes, man, you question everything. You question, is the love still there? You question, are you still, are you still loved? Does it even matter from the other person if you still out their affection? Me personally, I question everything all the time. Because people change. People change on you every day. Seriously. I'm I say a very reserved person. Like, for example, I go to church. I go to church all the time. I go to church quite private. This is the most I've been going to church ever. And I don't do a lot of talking. I do a lot of listening. I don't do a lot of talking. But that's another story. But nevertheless, maybe I'm not much of a social person. My wife always said, you know, what she say, not social wallflower, you just antisocial. And I'm not really an antisocial person. I'm just not a very talkative person. For me to be a talkative person, I got to know you. You know, I don't like to, you know, tell too much of my personal stuff unless I'm comfortable with it. So I'm comfortable doing this platform, but even though you don't really know me, I'm telling you little bit things about things that's on my mind. You know, not a whole lot of things that's on my mind, but I'll tell you about some things that's on my mind that gets to me. You know, one of the things is that I was going to the gym and I stopped going after the first year, and then I started going back on last week. I was scheduled. I was going to go today, and I may consider going tomorrow. I know I'm going Saturday because I always go on Saturday. Actually, you know what? I'm like, well, yeah, I could go Saturday. I could go to Saturday, matter of fact. But I got a doctor's appointment Saturday, and I got one today. But the doctor's appointment Saturday, so I can get back on my diet again. I mean, I'm not doing too bad right now, but I'm not doing like I'm supposed to be doing, because I should be eating more vegetables. I do eat vegetables. I do eat salads and stuff. But I need to be getting back on my regimen like I was doing before, when you eat the little 3 small meals a day, snacking in your main meals. That's what I was doing when I was on my diet plan a while back with Persona Doctors. So I'm trying to get back on the Persona Doctors tip. I've been slipping this year. I've been slipping really for the past 9 months with Persona Doctors. I haven't been going like I used to. I'm trying to get back into it. But in any case, I don't know. I just feel a certain way anymore, man. I guess maybe it's the midlife crisis, what they call it. You know, after all, I am approaching 55, and I don't feel the happiness that I don't know. I feel like my joy is just gone, man. It's gone. It ain't, you know, a lot of things as far as my joy is gone. It is. My happy place ain't there anymore. It hadn't been there in a very long time. And I guess for me, I'm always above. I mean, I always question everything, like I was saying, because I kind of feel like you always got people out there all the time that you feel you can't trust. You know, I always feel like, you know, you think you can trust them, but you really can't. That's the kind of person I am. Not, you know, because I go by the narrative that not everybody is your kind, is your friend, and not everybody that you claim to be your friend is your kind, that's your friend. They really are about being friends, you know. So I don't really, you know, my true friends, the true friends that I had, unfortunately, some of them have passed away, and which is probably why I've kind of turned a little bit into an introvert over the years, anyway. You know, and I don't know. I said the other night, I'm not gonna lie. The other night, it wasn't about that. It was just a lot of stuff that was on my mind about family and stuff. You know, this mess is going on, both in C-Town, and I cried. You know, silently, of course. You know, it just got to me. You know, I almost got to be at work a few weeks ago. You know, I was feeling some kind of way. I feel that way, but not to a point of crying too much. Last night I felt that way too, but I couldn't get it out. You know, I'm just more of like, I guess I'm somewhat sad, but not to a point where just sad to tears, because it's been heavy on me. It's been heavy on me, you know, and it still is. But black men in general, we've been under suspicion all our fucking lives, man. Even in school, you know. Even when I was in the military, it doesn't matter, you know. And somebody on a local radio station was talking about, well, we gotta change their minds and their hearts and their mind. You know, it's never gonna happen. It's got to be something that they want to do. You can't make them do it. It's something that they ought to do on their own. You know? But that's never going to happen. Because the generations of white people and other races have been conditioned culturally to think that we are inferior to them. And they always show everything about us that shows inferiority, but never anything beyond that. Never. You know, and that's the problem. That's the problem. That's a big problem, as far as I'm concerned. And everybody buys into the hype. Meanwhile, our economy and our communities suffer, and we're back to doing the same slumming and crumbling every time as a result of that too. You know, it's really sad, man. Well, all right, guys. Let me go back to the dungeon here. Go back to the gig and deal with the misery I always do. It's a big part of my life. You know, I still have hopes that I'm going to be doing back to DJing. I don't know. This year, I'm considering not even doing it anymore. As much as I want to do it, you know, I'm still giving this some thought. I'd like to do it full time. I really would. You know, it's what makes me happy. Don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, on a regular. That's the something's breaking. Come on, man. Come on. Hitting one brick one way, the other. This guy cruising. Get on, go around. Jeez, Louise. He picked a bad time to be riding and be cruising on out here on GW for real. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna talk more about this in another podcast because it's worth talking about. Loneliness. Some of us brothers, man, when you get to a certain age and you raise your kids and stuff, and then, you know, you get back into the what they call the empty nest mode. You're older now. The options you had when you were in your teens and 20s and even 30s are no longer there. You know? And as you get older now, you know, you can't do all the young stuff that you could do when you were younger because the opportunities aren't there anymore for you to do as an older guy. You know? Like I said, I'll talk about another podcast. This is DJ Wolf, and I'm out.